mir die Wunde mal ansehen? Schick den dran.
Okay, I told you that was going to be an intro clip at some point in time, but I didn't realize I'd make it as funny as I just did. I mean, come on, Quad Bay with the salt guy, whatever, the Salt Bay or whatever. I mean, I don't know how that dude got famous, but that dude's gonna been living some pretty good internet fame for the last few months, if he's even still living it. But that's besides the point. Today's episode of Adventures in Votech deals with something actually pretty cheerful, which I guess is kind of why I added this whole little cheerful edit to my intro clip. Now, this was a period in time where me and a few other people in my group, who I didn't despise at the time, or which I actually, who I would later grow to despise, some of them anyway, we would all be competing in a hors d'oeuvre competition in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Now, some of you may be asking, what the fuck is an hors d'oeuvre? Well, think about it like this. If you're at a wedding and someone offers you something on a tray, that's pretty much an hors d'oeuvre. At least I think it is. So, one day, Chef decides to ask, Chef asks us, you know what, I need, whoever comes up with the best ideas for an hors d'oeuvre, they would be chosen to be in this group. I think it was 6 people or 5 people. It was one of those. So, after a couple weeks, you know, I put my idea in. My idea was a surf and turf skewer with shrimp and steak, and it would be some sort of marinade or whatever, you know, something to make it taste good, obviously. And we would grill everything and that kind of stuff. I thought it would be a pretty cool idea, and we actually did end up using that kind of idea with steak, but it would be something completely different, believe it or not. So, as you can tell from how I'm talking, though, you can pretty much tell that I was one of the people chosen, but that's only because out of the amount of people Chef needed, that was the amount of people who submitted ideas. So, in a way, all of us were kind of forced to do it whether we wanted to or not. And I wanted to do it, at least to my memory I did. So I was pretty cool with the idea of doing that kind of thing. So then we would have some pretty big preparation for the coming months, and this is what I mean by that. First of all, what we decided to do as an hors d'oeuvre would be a steak caprese like hors d'oeuvre. It would be a mozzarella or mozzarella, because I'm Italian, I say mozzarella. It would be a mozzarella rollatini with pesto. It would be like a flat piece of mozzarella, and it'd be pesto in it. It'd be rolled up like a rollatini. And following that, there'll be like a roasted tomato or something, or a grilled tomato. I don't know if it was roasted or I don't know what it was, but it was a cooked tomato. I'm pretty sure it was roasted, because I think roasting is the best for tomatoes in my opinion. And a piece of steak, I think, would be and a piece of steak would be involved in that, so it would be a steak caprese. So, that's the idea that we came up with. Now, we also had to come up with an idea for a table, because several of the categories that we'd be judged in would be table appearance, that type of stuff. So me and the girl Kiana, who I mentioned in the roast video, that at the time she wasn't that much of a pain in the ass, so she was pretty cool to me at the time. So we decided to take that ourselves, and we tried coming up with some ideas of how everything would look. Our idea was kind of like a farm to table look, and we would have like produce, or like, I don't know, like like, you know how you see, like, I don't know, for instance, artichokes in a jar, boil or whatever, something like that, or tomatoes, or something marinating in a jar, like pickles, that type of stuff. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get at, but like more complex and more kind of uppity type of look. We'd be using more uppity type of ingredients than just, cucumbers and shit. So we came up with that kind of stuff. We also picked up more fresh vegetables, and we kind of placed them around as well. I believe that's what we did anyway. And I thought it was a pretty cool idea, and we decided for the next few weeks we were coming up with ideas with how to, you know, place everything. And when we finally got that done, that's when the food stuff started to come in. So me and Chef, or not me and Chef, but like everyone involved in the group was, you know, participating in how to make the mozzarella, which we would be using cheese curds, and then we would be, you know, doing everything that you would do for preparation of mozzarella, or mozzarella, I gotta say. So, and then we would, you know, figure out what type of flavor with the steak we want to have. We would also make the pesto. We would also figure out what we would do with the pesto, because I think one of the ideas, there was also something called a red pepper coulis, I think, involved in it, and which is like a vegetable sauce. So it was like a pepper coulis involved with that whole thing, and it would be a drop of pesto and a drop of the red pepper sauce on top of everything. That was something I just remembered that as I was talking. But yeah, so we decided that we would make the mozzarella we would flatten it out, put pesto in it, roll it up, and then like cut it in really, like roll it up really long, and like a nice long rod, and cut it in small pieces so that it would be small enough for an hors d'oeuvre. So that's what we ended up doing. I think come competition time, actually now that I remember this was also a period of time where Mr. R, you know, the dickhead I mentioned in the roast video, he was constantly saying that since his son-in-law was involved in the competition, we had no chance of winning. And I thought he was a huge cunt for that. But what are you gonna do? I don't even remember who actually won the whole flavor stuff, but that's besides the point. I'm getting ahead of myself. So come competition day, we set up everything. I was working my ass off. Believe me, I was sweating all over the place. I was sweating with my chef's hat. I had like a nice little long top chef's hat, like the ones you kind of see in like fancy restaurants or whatever. And it was actually pretty cool. I actually had people coming up to me. They were asking me what I was, you know, preparing. I answered them nicely and all that type of stuff. Actually, one person who was there actually took a picture of me who I knew from the Votech, the vocational school I attended. So she was actually there from the vocational school, I believe. She was taking pictures for the website. So I ended up being, I ended up being in a picture, and I had like a caption and everything of, you know, Matthew so-and-so. You know, I'm not going to say my last name, obviously. Matthew so-and-so is preparing the hors d'oeuvres or whatever. It was super cool. I have it on Facebook. I wish if I had the opportunity I would show it on here, but I don't know how to from Share Factory. So either way, if I had the chance, I would show you guys. But it was one of those highlights of the day, actually. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And we ended up, I don't think we won any of the food categories, but what we did have is a three-way tie for us and a few other people for the tablescape, or how the table looked, which was what I was talking about earlier with my friend, well, at the time who I thought would be my friend, Kiana or whatever, and what we created pretty much. So we were pretty pleased about it. At least I was pleased. I never really asked her. I never really asked her about it. At least I don't remember doing anything about it. So I was relatively pleased because I felt like I actually did something. And in a way, even though I didn't win the food categories, I still felt like I did something. I mean, I went to Atlantic City. It was actually at Caesar Palace, I think. You know, I went to Atlantic City. I'd never been to Atlantic City before. And I was glad that this was what I was doing to be my first time in Atlantic City. So all in all, it was a great trip. And it was a great experience. The bus ride was hella long, though. I will say that much. And it was a hell of a lot of preparation. You know, we had to also we also had to stack shit in the bus that we'd be using. That was a pain as well. But in the end, like I said, everything pretty much went well. We ended up getting a three-way tie for first place. So, I mean, that's fine with me. I kind of wanted to be alone in that category, but if two other people were just as good, well, more power to him, right? Anyway, that's the end of this episode of Life on the Wii. Life on the Wii. God damn it. I can't get that out of my head. I can't tell you how many times I had to restart this commentary because I said Life on the Wii instead of Adventures in Votech. Believe me, God, I miss doing that series. But, Adventures in Votech. Sorry for my fuck up. That's the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I hope you guys, this was probably, like I said, this was one of the crowning moments of my time in Votech. So hope you guys, I was glad I got to share that with some of you guys. Also, before I forget, this video will have links down in the description below of all the buddies I have in this video, because I have quite a few buddies of mine involved in this video. So if you be oh so kind as to go and follow the links I have in their subscription box, or in the description, I should say, description box, that'd be very nice. That'd be oh so kind of you. Anyway, like I said, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you all on the next episode. Peace out.